Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister, and I'm honored to be here with you this Sunday before Christmas. And this theme of this month, December's theme, is Celebrating Divine Truth. And this morning's title is Cultivating Light. Cultivating Light. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind on page 430 in the 1938 version says, "Ye are the light of the world. Humankind is the candle of the Lord. How important then that this light be kept trimmed and burning with the oil of pure spirit through the wick of peace and joy. In this way, do we glorify that indwelling." So, how do we celebrate the light? Both in northern and southern hemispheres, the light is a theme in December. Either humans making light in the winter or honoring its strength in the summer. What does it mean to make and cultivate light in ourselves? Light in our lives, and light in the world. Again, Ernest Holmes writes in The Science of Mind, "Thought which is built upon a realization of the divine presence has the power to neutralize negative thought, to erase it, just as light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating darkness, but by being exactly what it is, light. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not." So again, in both the northern and southern hemispheres, the light is celebrated at this time. In northern, it is the middle of winter, cold, snow, ice, short periods of daylight. And we focus more on our indoor activities. In the southern, it's the middle of summer, hot, long period of daylight, focusing more on the outdoor activities. Some festivals of light, which are celebrated in different ways according to your beliefs and traditions, are Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and many more. So tomorrow is December 21st, the winter solstice. It's a very powerful day, metaphysically. It is the shortest day and the longest night. The days will now begin to get longer tomorrow as the sun begins to return to the earth in this hemisphere. And if you look this up, Saturn and Jupiter are really close together right now. And you might want to Google that and check it out because there's some interesting information about those being close together, if you believe in that sort of thing. So when we talk about light, we must also talk about the darkness, as they only have meaning in relationship to each other. In this world, we couldn't know dark without the contrast of the light. In creation, there exists one full cycle, and God called the day, the light day, and the darkness night. People like Gandhi or Maya Angelou or Mother Teresa come to mind when thinking about light, who have faced their hate and fear with love and forgiveness, who are true beacons of light that inspire our world. The Dalai Lama said, "Inner darkness, which we call ignorance, is the root of suffering. The more inner light that comes, the more darkness will diminish. This is the only way to achieve salvation or nirvana." So have you ever spent time in the darkness of your life? dark night of the soul? Well, I would say that if you have lived any type of a life, you have probably experienced both. A highway to hell or a stairway to heaven, depending on where you're at. But it is the contrast that allows us to understand both sides. It is because we have walked through the valley of the shadow that we can continue to walk. We can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. As one of my friends said to me, but it sure seems like a long tunnel. Well, it can seem like that, especially right now. But we need to continue walking through the valley of the shadow. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, we don't stop and throw a tent or build a condo or stop to take pictures, buy a t-shirt. You want to keep walking. Although I have done all those things in the valley of the shadow, but it is when we get to the light that we begin to realize how powerful and important it is to keep walking. So here I have a couple really simple ideas. 3 simple ideas for growing the light inside you. The first one is have fun. Make your life a fun experience. Live like you're on vacation. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't times that we need to be serious. We do. There are times when we need to roll up our sleeves and get to the work that's before us. But it doesn't mean we can't have a good time while doing it. It reminds me of the story of the family that was at the fairgrounds, and one of their 2 boys had gotten lost, and they were very concerned about the boy being lost. And they found a security guard, and they gave the description to the security guard of the young boy. And his brother turned to his parents and said, "If we don't find him, can we have his room? Can I have his room?" And it just brought enough levity that the family could joke for a second and laugh, realizing that they were gonna find the boy. But it's times like that that sometimes we need a little levity. We need a little enlightenment to lighten us up, because, we take this world so seriously. And you know what it is? It is very serious, especially with what's going on right now. But we need to know that God is a comedian, and God will always guide us with laughter and love and peace and harmony. So, number 2, live your soul's purpose. Now, I would say you have to find your soul's purpose first. If you haven't found your soul's purpose, let me just ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's never too late to start again. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. Why are you here? And it might not be why you think. Each of us has a divine purpose. Each one of us needs to find that purpose and live it. Each one of us signed a contract coming into this plane of existence that said that we were going to attempt to fulfill certain things that we had on our list of stuff to do while we're here. Now, I just wish that they had given me that list in a tattoo form so I wouldn't have lost it. But I think that if you follow what you love, it will lead you to why you're here. Because that's one of the clues within why you are here. It must be something you love, which brings me to the number 3, is to be of service. It must serve humanity in a big way. And I don't mean, healing world hunger or making fresh water available to everyone, which are awesome goals. And we should work to achieve those goals on a constant basis. But it may be as simple to be of service, to bring a little bit more love in the world. When you see somebody pass by and maybe they're down on their luck and have a cardboard sign, maybe just smiling at them, just to let them know that you get it, that you understand their challenge. And knowing that that is part of why you're here, is just to be love. If each one of us can bring a little bit more love into this plane of existence, we're on the right track. So once again, have fun, find and live your soul's purpose, and somehow be of service in the world. And if you can begin just doing a few of those things, you might just find the light at the end of the tunnel is you. So in conclusion, the light is always inside of you and outside of you, but it is part of who and what you are. I like to see it as a clear cylinder that lives within the heart of each one of us. It has that eternal light burning. It can never be extinguished. It can never be harmed. It can never go out. It is your soul. The light is always part of you. You can never separate yourself from the light. Now, you can turn the dimmer switch down. You can pretend it's not there, or as they say, put it under a bushel. But the light will always shine through. You do have a light inside of you. All of us do. You are the light of the world. We just have to remember how to shine it. Depending on where you are in your spiritual development, that light might just be a little flickering flame or a giant bonfire. But it's there, and it's ready for you to nourish it, to share it, and to let it get brighter and stronger. And maybe this holiday season is time to just sprinkle a little bit of kindling on your inner flame. Maybe it's time to share it by sending words of good cheer, calling someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, sending a beautiful holiday card, are all ways of kindling that spiritual light within you to make it, rather than just a small flicker, into a great bonfire of love within you. Let's begin spreading our light and love to all this holiday season if we can. When you have experienced the light of the divine, even momentarily through meditation or prayer, perhaps you've had a healing of some sort that you can't explain, or something happened in your world of form where just the right things came together that you couldn't have even imagined happening, and God was in the midst of it. I think all of us can remember some point in our life where something took over, where something directed us, where something happened, where we waited one more moment and something happened. You can begin to cultivate that light, that divine light within inside of yourself. When you begin to express it through your thoughts and your actions, it creates a ripple effect of love in the world. So I would say it's time to do a cannonball into the light and let those ripples just wash upon the shores and get everybody wet with your light. So be the love and the light that you choose to see in the world. See and know the light in everyone, regardless of appearances. Namaste, and so it is. Well, I want to thank you all for being here this morning. It's time for our healing prayer. So I'd like to just ask you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on something in your home that can bring you deeper so that we can remember who we are together. So I just turn within and I think of what I know that the divine is to me. I see it as the love of the universe. I see it in the rain and in the snow and in the sun and in the wind. I know that that power that breathes my body, that beats my heart, that causes the animals to thicken their coat for winter, that allows them to know when to go in and hibernate, is that same power that reminds us to light a fire in our hearts, in our homes, to sip tea and remember who we are. It is within that acknowledgement that there is a power and that we are united with that power. For truly, there is only one of us here. In the billions of countless life forms and things in this world, there is truly only one thing going on. It is love. It is spirit. It is you. You are the miracle this holiday season. So in that miraculous energy, I speak my word of healing right here and right now. In every situation that may come to mind as a challenge for you, I invite you to see the resolution. What does it look like for a win-win for all people involved in the situations that you're working with? Maybe it's a flow or a healing of abundance. Maybe it's a health issue that is resolved. Maybe it is a creative expression situation where all of a sudden you are flushed with wonderful ideas. Whatever it is, I know that right in the center of all that is, there is God. And as we activate that spark, it turns into a bonfire of love, warming all, energizing all, and giving life in a more beautiful and complete way this holy day season. I may not know what you're walking through, but I know that God does. I know that the Great Spirit is bigger than any challenge we may be facing. So I pray for those people who are on the front lines, who are working with those who may have fallen ill because of this situation that we're walking through, this virus. I know that those vaccines are supplying the energy of healing and of protection and of health that are allowing us to move through this in a powerful, healing way. And we give great thanks right here and right now for the beauty of that healing, for the ability to know that something wonderful is happening. As we walk through this together, as we virtually hold each other up to the light, that light of healing shines through us into all that we are. So we give great thanks right here and right now. Thank you, divine loving wisdom, for this healing, for this revealing of truth, and for the light. So I place these words directly into that living, loving law, where they are returned to us fully orbed and resplendent as the healing of our lives. And we say, yes, thank you, divine emanation of all that is, as we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Oh, how wonderful it is to come together in prayer. Well, it's time for our offertory idea about sharing. So I invite you to find your donation button wherever it is for you and click on it as you share your love and prosperity of this teaching with us. I know that there is a power that can heal and reveal its truth. And we're going to now share our ideas of our offertory that says this: I share my light through my abundance as I give with joy. Once again, I share my light through my abundance as I give with joy. And so it is. Well, let's say a little prayer for our offertory. And I, again, want to thank everyone who has ever given to our center, who will ever give to our center, and who is giving right now. This center gets to be a beacon of light in this community that allows the Grants Pass community to have a place to remember who they are. That is why we exist. We are here to teach, to grow, to love, and to learn together about spiritual principles. And I'm so grateful that you have found yourself here. So let's just pray for our offertory. So just imagine your offering is in your hand and place your hand on your heart. Thank you, divine, loving Spirit of abundance, for providing for this center and for each one of our congregants, friends, and virtual community, and our community at large. I know that each one of us is abundantly provided for in a way that allows each person to give from their overflow. We accept that gift with love, and it prospers the giver and receiver as it is returned into this community to allow this center to be that living, loving, growing place where people can remember who they are, as we affirm this together by saying, and so it is.